And Nicky Devlin been brilliant this season, outstanding. But when Diazen Maeda's in that form, and
What do you do about it?
well, I know I'm not saying he's a world class footballer, but see the way he harries, the way he presses.
Brilliant.
There can't be many better than him at that. He absolutely suffocates.
machine.
Yeah,
Aye, he's
and
unbelievable.
he makes your mind up for you as well. He puts doubts in your mind. I mean, there was a situation maybe in the first 10, 15 minutes, and it struck me. I watched El Clasico a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if any of you boys saw it. A couple of Barcelona,
How good were Barcelona?
a couple of Barcelona players tried to lob the goalkeeper when they'd no chance of lobbing him. The football psychology is they know they're not going to score, but what they're saying to the goalkeeper is, don't play keeper sweeper. Don't come 35 yards out your goal because we'll try and lob you. And then they got their first goal because there was a massive space to play in because the goalkeeper was pinned on his line. The Diazen made it yesterday was one when he was offside early doors, and I think he almost knew he was going to be offside, but he thought, you know what, I'm just going to run in behind you anyway. Because you're no Nicky Devlin, you are not going that way. I'll make sure you don't go that way.
Aye.
You'll be on your heels and coming back the way. And he just does that to people. He actually just stresses them into thinking, I need to stay where I am, and then he just beats you down with running power. It's frightening stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what I come back to.
He's scores in a World Cup, by the way. He's not just some flash in the pan.
What we're talking about earlier is he terrifies the life out of James Tavernier.
Yeah.
Which is exactly Swanee's absolutely brilliant point, by the way, is that now is the moment. He needs to get Dujon Sterling, if that's his first choice right back, because we don't know what his first, second choice right back is, because he's messed about and Casemiro's come into it. Yeah. So he has to make a decision, and he has to put one of them, be it Sterling, which I would be inclined to go with, but I think Sterling's been marginalised by this manager over recent weeks of the season. But if it's Sterling, then put him in. What you cannot do is continue like this up until you come up against Celtic and you make the same mistakes all over again, and you put Tavernier into a situation that you know that he can't cope with.
Yeah.
So let's see if I was Rangers, let's see if there's somebody that might be better equipped to deal with that threat. Maeda, listen, do you know what? I've said it previously this season. I think he's improving under Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers is working on his decision making and his finishing. I think that there's more quality about his work now in the final third, which maybe wasn't there before. He was just a jet lightning guy that would run all day for you. But then you've got, oh my God, his cross has just disappeared into I don't know where. There seems to be more of a cultured finish to what he's doing now. Mm-hmm. And I think Brendan Rodgers probably deserves great credit for that, as does Diazen Maeda. But this is the funny thing, we were talking about it first, you know, if this guy could cross a ball, if he could if he was a calm finisher, if he was clinical, Celtic couldn't afford this guy. That was what we all said.
Yeah.
But now he is actually adding these velvety touches to the kind of more difficult parts of the game. That makes him a hell of a player and a hell of an asset for Celtic.
And Brendan Rodgers is that there was a lot made at the start of last season. Brendan Rodgers said, you know, I'm not changing Kyle Ogle as a player, but there's no doubt Kyle Ogle comes into the game a little bit more. He's not just playing in the last line. And you look at the benefit in goal scoring and the way that Nicholas Kuhn and Diazen make the way Odsonne Edouard used to do for Brendan and Moussa Dembélé. Mm-hmm. They would come out the hole and Scott Sinclair would go in. And Kuhn and Maeda just keep doing it now. And it's really, really good. It's working really, really well.